you so much. As you know that my war on rape, sexual abuse and terrorism has begun from Kanyakumari on 11th of September. This is not an ordinary campaign. Why I say that this is a war? Because this hidden moral epidemic has grown multifold. It's growing everywhere in the country. And it's not an ordinary crime. When the victims, their parents, and ordinary citizens live in fear, and the predators, abusers, rapists roam around freely and frankly and fearlessly, then a war was needed. Every day, in every newspaper, in every news channel, we see abuse of another child, and that is something which has to be challenged and changed. Our homes are not safe, but our boys and girls do not speak out, they do not tell their parents because of the social taboo, because of shame, because of fear, sometimes because of family honor and dignity. And that breeds more fear, more crime. So Bharat Yatra is a march from fear to fearlessness. It's a march from silence to sound. It's a march from darkness to light, where the darkness of sexual abuse is dispelled and the light of freedom, the light of fearlessness, the light of constitutional rights and legal rights begin. Our homes are not safe because sometimes close friends and family members abuse our children. And that is not only the case of girls but also boys. That is not only the cases of poor people or any particular reason or in a particular caste or particular community that goes across. It can happen with anyone, anytime. All parents are in fear. Schools are not safe. Every other day we hear that how a watchman, a bus driver, a teacher, a gardener in the school became monster, predator. I refuse to accept this situation to continue. Many people thought that after winning the world's highest moral prize, highest prize, Nobel Prize, one can sit idle, one can sit and talk as celebrity, as a preacher, but no. This march is a call from innocence. This is call from silence. This is call for fear because my children are being raped. And I am going to say it that I am not going to allow it to continue. I am going to tell to all those abusers that I stop you now. I will do whatever I can do. I am knocking every door without any hesitation, without any shame, without any reason. I am knocking every door. Very ordinary people to non-people to faith leaders to politicians, bureaucrats, corporate leaders, artists, everywhere I am going. Because my country is in danger. If one single child is in danger, India is in danger. If our schools are not safe, then India is not safe. And that is the reason today I am making an appeal. I am making an appeal to the entire political community. I am making an appeal to every single parliament member of all parties. I am making this earnest appeal to all MLAs in all states and all elected representatives. For what? They should listen, they should feel the pulse of parents, and the parents are frightened with the schools. Our children are getting more and more frightened with the schools, and this worry is growing. This concern has changed into a frightening environment after this incident of killing of 7-year-old boy in Gurgaon. So my appeal to all these politicians and representatives of people, please visit your school where you studied and you were children, a child. Go to school in your constituency unannounced, as ordinary citizen, as ordinary parent. Feel like a parent and go to school and see whether those schools are safe or not for your children, because they are all your children. Don't go as celebrated VIPs or guests of honors. Once please visit school as ordinary parent. And that is my call to all political community today in Chennai. Because this is a place I know in the history. This is the place of long struggle against discrimination and injustices. This is the place which had given us and taught us the value, the virtue of compassion. When I was a child, and I read about the great Saint Thiruvalluvar. So many things he has written inside, centuries ago. But one thing closest and deepest in my heart is that when he says that compassion is the most powerful virtue which can change the society. So I am calling everyone to connect through compassion, because compassion is not just a connect of feeling for the suffering, but it's a feeling for suffering of anyone, known or unknown, and a quest, a thirst, a drive to change that suffering. And that is compassion which centuries ago the great saint of this land has taught us. This is the land of Periyar, who had fought against discrimination, and that's why I am making this appeal to the entire nation. Please consider that these children are your children. It can happen with your children. Whatever big politicians you are, go to schools. As you know that this is the second leg of Bharat Yatra. The first leg began from Kanyakumari, and that is on the way to Madurai, and it will go to Bangalore, and this leg which started off today will joining with the main yatra in Bangalore. I will be en route to Bangalore, and then the two yatras which are merged with the main yatra will go up to Hyderabad, and then we will go to central India via Nagpur and Mumbai. Another yatra will begin from Kashmir, and in Kashmir, apart from our fight against sexual abuse and trafficking, we are going to focus more on the issue of use of children for violence. The violent extremists are using children as shields, as you know, as stone pelters, as you know, as weapons, as we all know. That is not acceptable. Please spare your children, my children. Don't use them as weapons and shields. Don't use them for violence. Let them grow. We will also be passing through other areas. Some local issues would be raised. But the common and the overarching slogan of the Bharat Yatra is Surakshit Bachpan, Surakshit Bharat. So, safe childhood, safe India. India is not safe if our childhood is not safe. We cannot think, we cannot imagine a world without children. If we cannot imagine a world without children, how can we imagine a world without childhood? So, we are marching. I would also be asking the government to ensure the fastest disposal of cases pending under POCSO. As you know that POCSO is a very strong law, very good law. But the state of enforcement is very pathetic. 15,000 cases were registered last year. Only 4% convictions, 6% acquittal, 90% pendency. And this is not just this year, but last year the pendency was, year before last the pendency was 96%. So if not a single crime of sexual abuse occur from now onwards, in some states it will take 40 years to dispose of those cases. What a mockery on these children. Whether these children will be attending these hearings and attending courts along with their children or grandchildren at the age of 54, 55, 56 after 40 years. That I do not accept. I am not here just to speak for myself. I am not here to promote myself. I am not here for any kind of reason, for any advertisement. I am here to call you to be the partner, to be the marcher. Your words matter. If you write something, it will bring light in the lives of children as journalists. I tell you that I was an engineer, but after giving up my job, I decided to start a magazine in English and Hindi, basically in Hindi in India, in New Delhi. And my purpose was to become the voice of all those voiceless children through writing in my magazine called Struggle Shall Continue. So I know the power of words. So, and the power of social media, the power of television is much more stronger. So please join us in this war on rape. Save our children, save